Hey there, friends. David Paulides here, and I know what you're expecting. You're expecting a Bigfoot episode. You're expecting a deep dive into the unexplained vanishing of a hiker in the Sierra Nevadas. But tonight, the missing people are not in the wilderness. Tonight, the missing element is the truth itself. I've spent countless hours, the last few days, doing research, not on granite slabs or sudden storms, but on something far more disturbing. The deliberate withholding of evidence from the American people. I can't shake the feeling that the same unseen forces, the same systemic pattern of denial and deceit that we find at the heart of the missing 411 phenomenon, are at play right here in the heart of our nation's capital. Think about the central question in every one of the thousands of cases I've documented. Why is the crucial information missing? Why are law enforcement and officials so reluctant to acknowledge the clear patterns we find? When you see this pattern repeated in government, you have to ask, what are they so deathly afraid of us knowing? Let's talk about January 6th. I knew from the start we were being handed a carefully crafted storyline, a manufactured narrative. Every major network used the same precise verbiage, almost as if they were reading from a single approved script. This coordinated information control, it smells like the same smoke that clouds a difficult missing 411 investigation. The key piece of evidence, of course, was those 41,000 hours of footage. Footage filmed by cameras that belonged to you, yet it was kept locked away. The committee claimed they needed to cherry-pick the narrative to maintain focus. But why would they withhold footage that, by law, the defendants facing charges should have had access to? This is a fundamental violation of discovery. It reminds me of the times I've requested police reports on a missing child, only to be met with heavily redacted documents and outright refusals. What is the common thread? The deliberate concealment of essential facts. They don't want you to see the full scope of the chaos. We finally started to see some of this video, and what did we find? Stories that directly contradict the official narrative. Take the case of Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman. He was sentenced to 41 months in prison. But the raw footage showed uniformed Capitol police officers walking with him, actually guiding him through the Senate building. They didn't arrest him. They didn't stop him. They were essentially assisting him. If he's getting a police escorted tour, where is the imminent threat? Where is the violent breach that they claimed? The defense attorney should have had that video from day one. That would have changed everything. In the world of missing 411, this would be the equivalent of finding clear video of a missing hiker being calmly led away by an unknown figure and then having that video immediately classified as a security risk. The goal is the same. Control the narrative by controlling the evidence. This distortion goes even deeper, touching the memory of the dead. Consider Officer Brian Sicknick. The media pushed a narrative that he was murdered by protesters hitting him with a fire extinguisher. A complete, verifiable lie. The medical examiner ruled his death 100% natural, caused by strokes, no external injuries, no trauma that caused his death. Yet the lie was amplified for months to fuel a political agenda. When the Department of Justice itself pushes a falsehood, you realize how deep the corruption, or perhaps something else, truly is. This is not mere spin. This is calculated deceit designed to invoke fear and hatred. Then there is the tragic shooting of Ashley Babbitt, an Air Force veteran, unarmed, posing, no physical threat, shot and killed by a police lieutenant. Ask any professional. That is an unacceptable, indefensible shooting under those circumstances. Yet he was cleared immediately. This pattern of manipulation is familiar. When people vanish in the most perplexing missing 411 ways, stripped of clothing, found miles away, in areas already searched, the official reports pivot to a simple explanation: exposure or drowning. The strange facts, the sudden impossible distances, the extreme weather anomalies are always omitted. Why? Because the truth is terrifying, and they don't want you to see the terror. Now, let's bring this back to the central mystery. When you have a vast cover-up of facts, whether it's police reports or congressional footage, you have to assume a reason more sinister than just political convenience. In many of the most baffling cases, the victims are found near geological anomalies strange energy fields, or high reports of UFO activity. I believe there are places on Earth, perhaps even dimensional rifts, where the veil between realities is dangerously thin. What if this unseen force, this entity that exploits those rifts, isn't just focused on the deep woods? What if it feeds on the energy of human chaos and profound societal distrust? The Capitol in Washington, D.C., with its massive layers of history and the intense energy of a nation in crisis, could itself be a flashpoint. Maybe the same entity that allows a person to vanish from a campsite without a trace is also capable of manipulating the leadership. Think about it. They suppressed the truth to maximize confusion. They allowed Officer Johnson, the commander in the field, to call for help 3 times and get no response. His command was intentionally silent. It's almost as if the authorities wanted the chaos to spiral out of control, to create a horrifying spectacle for a political objective. That is a calculated, cold, and utterly inhuman act. This is the hidden horror, friends. The missing 411 cases teach us that something is operating outside the boundaries of our human understanding. And the events of January 6th suggest that the same phenomenon is now infecting the halls of our government. An atmosphere of fear, distrust, and manufactured chaos is the perfect environment for a malicious entity to thrive. It profits from us fighting each other and ignoring the common enemy of corruption and deceit. Mitch McConnell called the release of the tapes outrageous. I call the withholding of that footage an obscenity. It's your property. We have a right to see it all and make our own decisions. The biggest threat we face today is not a threat from overseas. It's the terrorism of information control. The same force that hides the facts in a missing person case now seeks to hide the facts of our democracy. Whether you're far left or far right, I'm asking you to listen. Don't listen to respond, listen to understand. Because when they bury the evidence, they are betting you will bury your head in the sand. We need help. We need a call to action. We need to be informed, educated, and engaged. We cannot allow the truth to become just another piece of missing evidence. If we sit back and let them decide what we see and what we don't, then the liberty and justice for all that we cherish will become just another missing piece of the story. Thank you for being here. Until next time, keep your eyes open and stay safe out there.